Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Galbraith with a 1-2 as this one's lifted into left center field. Going back as a center fielder. This one's going to go behind his head and 1 run will score. Running second now is going to be Kevin Donati, and he's going to be running third. Going all the way to second base is now going to be Janowski. He's going to stay put. No throw. And that is a 2 RBI 2-bagger by the second baseman, Brandon Janowski. And the Suns now lead it by a score 6-2.
Now we're going to take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Here again, the payoff. High fly ball down the left field line. Going back here is Maduri towards the warning track. Gone! Pittsfield Suns tie up the ball game with a clutch 2-run homer by Connor Moriarty.
Now here's your host for Pittsfield Suns baseball, Billy Madewell and Andrew Belargent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to beautiful Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action against the visiting Worcester Bravehearts. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Billy Madewell. Thank you so much for making us a part of your late afternoon and early evening. Alongside me, as always, longtime broadcast partner Andrew Belargent. And Andrew, big win for the Suns to begin the season ever since, very eerily similar to last season, dropping a lot of games straight. Now, not looking too good.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to have a 7-game losing streak to nearly begin the season at 1-7, being at the bottom of the FCBL. Not an ideal start, but hopefully, much like the weather in front of us today, the Suns team can get a little bit heated up and grab a W tonight.
It's an absolutely beautiful day for baseball in the high 70s, low 80s. Sun is shining bright. The pollen you can see is out in full force, as well as the Pittsfield Suns getting ready to take this game here against the Worcester Bravehearts. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and when we do come back, Andrew's going to have your full pregame with a trip around the FCBL, and including a sit-down interview with Pittsfield Sun bench coach Kevin Donati. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So before we see the Suns take the field here against the Worcester Bravehearts, it's time to have a look around the rest of the FCBL to see how things are going. Specifically, let's have a look at the standings here in the early goings of the season. At the tippity top of the FCBL right now are the Bristol Blues, riding a hot 7-1 record. Just a game behind them, 2 games in the win column, are the Martha's Vineyard Sharks at 5-1 themselves. Both teams riding 4- and 3-game winning streaks respectively. On a 4-game winning streak of their own, in third place are the Brockton Rocks at 5-2. Following them, a game behind are today's visiting Worcester Bravehearts at 4-3. Right now, in 5th are the Nashville Silver Knights at 2-5, followed up by the North Shore Navigators at 1-6. And rounding things up just a half games back of those Navigators are, of course, your Pittsfield Suns at 1-7, following a nasty 7-game losing streak. So let's have a look at what's going on around the FCBL. We will have a look at games that took place yesterday on June 7th on Thursday. Of course, the Suns visited the Martha's Vineyard Sharks for the second game of I guess if you could call it a doubleheader between 2 different days. The Suns played in Martha's Vineyard against the Sharks for the second time in 2 days. And much like Wednesday, the Suns did not get the win in Martha's Vineyard, dropping a tight one to the Sharks by a score of 6-5. Speaking of tight ones, a bona fide pitching duel in Bristol as the Blues narrowly beat the Silver Knights by a score of 1-0. Finally, the Brockton Rocks eked out a 6-5 win of their own at home against the North Shore Navigators. Flash forward to today. We've got a few games on tap in the FCBL. Other than our game here tonight at 7 o'clock, the Brockton Rocks set to visit the Bristol Blues. Meanwhile, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks are at Fraser Field for a meeting with the Navigators. So we will talk about tonight's game in a little bit, but first I had the opportunity to sit down with Pittsfield Suns bench coach Kevin Donati. We'll have that exclusive interview here on the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Are you prepared in the event of a disaster? I'm Jim Cantori, reminding you that the best way to make your family safer is to be prepared before disaster strikes. First, build a disaster supply kit with enough supplies for each family member for at least 3 days. Next, make a family communication or evacuation plan. Finally, stay informed. Listen to local radio and TV reports when disasters are imminent. For more information on how you can be Red Cross ready, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit redcross.org.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Salagadoola, menchikaboola, bibbidi bobbidi.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that's does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Joining me today for this exclusive interview is Suns former player and now coach Kevin Donati. Kevin, how are you doing today?
Nice. How are you?
Well, thank you very much for joining me today. And real quick, of course, you are a coach because of an unfortunate incident that happened during the offseason with an injury. If you wouldn't mind, how did it all occur? And do you think that you can return to baseball sometime soon?
Yeah, so it was first game down at JMU, first swing, and I hit a double, and on the swing, it just shoulder popped and tore my labrum. So I had to get that surgery done, and hoping to be back in like late September.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that. Of course, it definitely is not fun. So, of course, you did remain with the Suns, and we're very appreciative of that. Good to still have you around. So, in going from a player here, pretty good player, of course, to a coaching role here with the Suns, how do you think that you impact the team now on a game-to-game basis?
Yeah, I've been here the last 2 seasons, so I have a lot of game experience here, and especially living here in Pittsfield, I can just help the players with stuff either around town or just the mentality of the game, because I can't really show them too much right now with the shoulder still being hurt. So help them with the mental side of the game as much as I can.
And we're sure you do a great job at that. So, of course, I don't think that it was exactly prepared for when, of course, you had that nasty swing that you would eventually end up a coach here with the Suns. So now that you're in a bit of an unexpected situation, do you see yourself as maybe trying to do this sort of thing somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I don't know, baseball's been in my life forever, and I just want to really stay around the game. So when I'm done playing, I'm sure I'll be coaching.
Right, and of course, either way, you seem to impact the game quite well. So, of course, talking about tonight's game, the Suns take the field against the Worcester Bravehearts. The Suns won their opening day game, but then have since dropped 7 straight games, an unfortunate sequence of events. Of course, we remember back to, of course, when you were a player last year, when the team won their first 8 and then, of course, lost their next 8. So this is a team that is, of course, known to be very streaky. How do you think they pick up the W to get back on track against Worcester tonight?
Yeah, over the last couple of days at Martha's Vineyard, we got the bats going, so hopefully both sides of the ball on offense and defense can click, and we can get a dub today.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Nice talking to you.
This has been the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
You suffer from the heartbreak of brain rot, feeling bored, sluggish, listless, not had a new idea in days, using electronic gizmos without a clue why they work. Now there's help. Ham radio, guaranteed to stimulate your corroding neurons and open a whole new world of excitement. To learn more about ham radio, go to helloradio.org.
Side effects of ham radio usage include mental stimulation, desire for education, new career paths, understanding of technology, and cases of addiction have been reported. If you experience any of these symptoms, you're welcome.
Ham radio. It's not your granddaddy's radio anymore.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So with nothing else left to discuss before these teams take the field, it is now a good time to reveal both teams' starting lineups. Starting off with the visiting Worcester Bravehearts. Leading off for the Bravehearts is number 8 in center field, John Thrasher. And boy, what a baseball name that is. Batting second and residing in shortstop, number 4, Chris Rinaldi. In right field and batting third is number 15, Michael Delicari. Cleanup goes to the designated here, number 5, Mac Chelly. Batting fifth is first baseman number 21, Dustin Harris, followed up by the catcher number 2, Brett Koffel. Batting seventh and at third base is number 9, Alex Gionis, with eighth being the left fielder number 10, Joe Pesch. Finishing up the Worcester lineup, second baseman number 1, Mariano Ricciardi, and they will go to work against Pittsfield Sun starter Gage Feeney. Now, Gage Feeney, a longtime Pittsfield Sun, has logged 1 start to this point this season, and a pretty successful start at that, just 1 out short of a quality start. He hurled 5 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 earned runs with a couple walks and 3 strikeouts, giving him a line good for a 3.6 ERA. So with that, having a look at the Suns lineup for tonight's tilt against the Worcester Bravehearts. We start off with the center fielder number 18, Chad Shade. Batting second, the second baseman number 8, Drew DiMartino. Third goes to the shortstop number 5, Brian McHale, with cleanup being the left fielder number 6, Alexander White. Fifth is the right fielder number 14, Dylan Faircloth, and our first base number 21, Peter Marin, attacks. DHing it for the Suns and hitting 7th, number 16, Taylor Mier. Batting 8th, also a catcher, number 26, Josh Gernak. Finishing off the Suns' attack tonight, the third base number 1, Jack Kolomovic. Looking at who will pick apart this lineup tonight is number 24, JT Morin of the Worcester Bravehearts. Morin, in his only start, had a pretty solid start at that, pitching 5 shutout innings where he gave up 5 hits, walked 1 and struck out 6, of course giving him an ERA of 0. And so, with lineups on both sides having been revealed, we will now yield way to tonight's call, and for that, I will now hand over the figurative microphone to Billy Madewell.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for the pregame. Currently right now at home plate, you see the meeting behind the mound. Behind home plate is home plate umpire Andrew Gerard. Currently in play, Tim McCaffrey. And the right-handed batter's box, Matt Gebman. That is the head coach for the Pittsfield Suns. And notable coach that is inside the batter's box right now in the left-handed batter's box. That is not J.P. Pine. We did get word from one of the interns over at Worcester. That's J.P. Pine. Well, his wife is having a baby. So we'd like to say congratulations to Mr. J.P. Pine, skipper of the Worcester Bravehearts. And Alex Dion is going to be taking over head coaching duties here today.
Definitely. Congratulations to JP Pine and best of luck.
Now, with tonight's contest, again, Suns, the big story is they have not been able to really hit when it has been deemed necessary. Losers of 7 straight, very similar script of last season with the Suns winning 8 and losing 8, but now it's only 1 and losing 7. So right now they find themselves at the bottom of the totem pole, having to really climb the way all the way up if they want any shot of the postseason, even though it's early on in the season within the first 2 weeks. They want to get things done.
Absolutely. And you, again, a good while ago, you talked to hitting coach Chris Barbarata, and you just brought up that point there about hitting when it counts, making the clutch hits, getting guys into position, and then bringing them home rather than stranding so many guys. But as you said, Billy, it also has to happen on the other end, too. I believe it was either their game against these very same Bravehearts or a game against the Bristol Blues where just way too many free passes were being issued. The pitching and defense in general were quite sloppy. And if you're gonna have games like that, you need to have the offense putting up 9, 10, 11 runs per game, and that's just clearly not reasonable to expect. So both sides have to really hold up their own end, or else, as we've seen, things are not so great.
And for the Suns, just getting off that 2-day series in Martha's Vineyard, the first time they've actually had a road trip where they stayed on the road. They stayed in the vineyard, which by all means I'm very jealous of. But they lost both games that were swept. But what we're going to do now is we're going to listen in live on field for on-field festivities and the starting lineup for the Suns.
Starting in center field, along with ladies, Grant Wildstreet, Tyler Bryant, Springfield College, Aaron Fields. At second base, with Jake Flores and Nick Walker. Drew DiMartino. At shortstop, with Charles Miller. From National College, Ryan McHale. Coming in left field. With Google Diversity, Collegiate United States, Alex White. Your right fielder, the 14th, from Worcester Community College, Sylvan Bravehearts. Coming in 14th, with the Iron Numbers, from Buffalo University, Peter Barron. And designated hitter from St. Mary's College, Taylor Pierre. Behind the bench with Colin Burton. From the University of Albany, Josh Gurnick. For Matt Lee. Matt Golden. And next starting pitcher from the University of Southern England, Dave King. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we please rise to present presentation of tonight's colors. Please welcome the Berkshire County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard, featuring Captain Shelley Williamson, Officer Daniel Conrad, and Officer Wells.
Smart time! Ball! Ready! Ball!
And please remain standing for tonight's national anthem. Welcome from the Berkshire County Sheriff's Department, Ray Fuzzy Turner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting here, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
On-field lineups have been announced. Going to stay quiet just one moment as the flag's leaving the field. Lineups have been announced. National anthem beautifully sung by the Berkshire County Sheriff's Office. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for Pittsfield Suns baseball Now with the starting lineup once more for the Worcester Bravehearts, here's Andrew.
Leading off, John Thrasher. Second would be Chris Rinaldi, followed up by Michael Delacari. Mac Kelly hits cleanup with Dustin Harris following him up. Brent Koffel is hitting sixth, followed up by Alex Giannis. Joseph Pesci hits eighth, with Mariana Ricciardi finishing up the lineup. And they will try to figure out Gage Feeney on the Pittsfield Suns end.
Gage Feeney, third year with the Pittsfield Suns, going to be hurling to Kevin Donati's teammate at UAlbany, Josh Gurnak, behind the plate tonight. Going from third to first, continuing the defensive lineman here. You have from third to first, Kalumovic, Mikhail, DiMartino, Marin, and from left to right, White, Shade, Faircloth. Outfield dimensions here at Paul Outfield at Wacona Park come as follows. 310 feet down the left field line, 377 in left center. 374 in dead center field, goes to the power alley. 403, the deepest part of the ballpark. That slides down the right field line on a straight line, 98 feet at 305. And again for the Pittsfield Suns, one goal tonight, win.
Couldn't have put it any simpler than that, really. Just get out of the funk, try to get some momentum picking up. I mean, it's only early season, but you never want to start a season out like the way the Suns have, losing 7 straight. But, well, no better time to turn it around than right now.
Gage Feeney, again, he's a true righty, a tall, lengthy fellow, 6'4", 215 out of Cutler, Maine. He is a redshirt junior at the University of Southern Maine with the Huskies and Gorham, Maine. Coming out of Washington Academy for his high school. And his major, mechanical engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, just about to get things underway. And here comes center fielder number 8, as Andrew put it. Great baseball name, John Thrasher.
Well, Thrasher makes his season debut for the Bravehearts today. He's listed on their website as a true righty, 6'1", 170, a sophomore at Hartford, residing in Ridgefield, Connecticut.
Feeney digs his toes into the rubber, has a sign, and the first pitch of tonight's contest is a fastball. And what else coming from Gage Feeney? A fastball, inside corner, a called strike, starting this ball game off at 6:28 p.m.
If we know anything about Feeney, we know he can touch them pretty good.
As this one is jotted out to short. A little bobble there from the shortstop. McHale throw over to first, and that one's not going to be in time.
Just like I was talking about in pregame. Of course, all ends of the field really have to hold up their end, and it's not encouraging start for there to presumably be an error. Of course, no official ruling on that, but I would assume that to be an E6, and I'm getting a nod from Billy. Yes, that is an E6.
It will be an error on the shortstop, McHale. Very rare that we see that from the shortstop, but now it sets up double play here for the middle infielder. Shortstop number 4, Chris Rinaldi, speaking of shortstops. He digs in currently as Feeney from the stretch checks first and fires. Big cut and miss there from Rinaldi on a fastball low and away. Cold strike on a swing, 0-1.
Miguel with his third error already on the young season. Looking at Rinaldi, a .344 hitter, 11 of 32 with an RBI, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He has grounded into 2 double plays this season, though, giving some hope for him to go down that way.
That one fouled off first base side, well out of play. 0-2 is the count. Gage Feeney, he did attend the University of Maine for 3 semesters. He did redshirt his freshman year before he transferred to the University of Southern Maine. So that way he does qualify as a redshirt junior at USM. Next pitch, changeup going into left field on the track. Right there is veteran Alexander White with the grab. And that is rolled a F7 for the fly out. 1 gone.
Good job from Feeney to put that error behind him and get the next man going down in just 3 pitches.
Now taking in right fielder number 15, Michael Delacari, batting in from the left-hand side.
Delacari, .333 on the young season.
Runner goes. Pitches in there, a called strike, throw over to second. They got him! Great throw from Josh Gurnak.
Finally, a beautiful throw on to second. The Suns have been getting eaten alive from runners taking second, and they finally eat back there with that one. A beautiful throw from Gurnak, right on target. A rocket shot. They had him out by a mile. Beautiful.
Great gun there from Gurnak, product of UAlbany. It's 0-1 the count currently. Shaking off the sinus, Feeney now has it. Here's the 0-1. Broken bat. This one headed towards the second baseman there, DiMartino. The hometown product of Pittsfield throws over to first in time, collects an easy out for the final out of the inning.
A great way to recover from that early error as the Suns essentially go 1-2-3.
An unconventional 1-2-3 at that. We'll say it's a 2-1-3. No runs, no hits, one error, and nobody left on. We now head to the bottom half for the Pittsfield Suns. They are due up, no score. And now once more with the starting lineup, here's Andrew.
Leading off, Chad Shade, followed up by Drew DiMartino. We saw him on that 4-3 put-out to end that inning. Hitting third, Brian McHale, whose error was quickly forgotten about. Cleanup goes to Alexander White, with fifth being Dylan Fairclough. Sixth is Peter Marin, with seventh being Taylor Mier. Josh Sternak hits eighth and followed up and finished off by Jack Kolomovic, going up against J.T. Morin of the Worcester Bravehearts.
The defensive alignment here for the visiting Worcester Bravehearts. You do have Morin hurling to Koffel. Going from third to first, Giannis, Rinaldi, Ricciardi, Harris, and from left to right, Pesci, Thrasher, Delicari. Pittsfield Suns, as you previously saw, coming out in their home white uniforms. Black Suns embroidered with yellow on the front, red numbers on the left abdomen. Black numbers on the back embroidered with yellow as well. White pants with a red trim down the side. Black cap, black brim with the Suns P logo.
It's easy to come out in your white uniforms when it's not pouring rain and you don't end up having to worry about the laundry whenever you try to dive at a bag.
Still, you have to worry about the bleach and how much that's going to take out of your budget.
Yeah. Still, though, you have to admit it's a lot easier to not worry about that when it's not pouring rain.
Very true. For the Worcester Bravehearts, they come in their road blue uniforms. Worcester on the front embroidered, Worcester in white embroidered with a lime green on the front, white numbers on the left abdomen, as well as on the back with the left names in white as well. They have white underarms, as well as outlines along the shoulder area. Gray pants with a black trim down the sides. They also have a black cap with a black brim, and the Worcester W logo is up top. Again, the Pittsfield Suns starting off a little rocky with one batter, but a great throw from Josh Gurnek prevents a stolen base.
Yeah, that was a great throw. That had to have been the best throw on the second that I've seen this season.
And we'll be seeing things here from J.T. Morin, the lefty. But he's going to have to take off against another hometown kid, this being number 18, the center fielder, Chad Shade.
Shade, he was off to a really hot start to begin the season, but in his last few games, he's cooled off just a little bit. A .217 hitter, that's 5 of 23 with a couple doubles. He does have 3 RBI, but worth noting, leads the team with 6 walks. Unfortunately, he's also tied for the team lead with 6 strikeouts. Very much a feast or famine type hitter.
Well, he's definitely a feast on the base pass as well. We'll see. First pitch, outside corner, called strike. Good fastball there from J.T. Morin. And the count here, 0-1.
Yes.
Just getting underway in the bottom half of the first.
Second on the team with 2 stolen bases, 2 for 3 on the season.
The 0-1 just outside, maybe a tad up as well. A ball, a strike here for Chad Shade. Shaking off the sign is Moore, now has it. Here's a wind and deal. 1-1 is back towards us. And
wow.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. At least I got someone shaking up here in the press box. Count here is 1-2. I gave you a hint. It was neither Andrew or I. Here's a 1-2. This one, a hot shot single going into right field. That'll be a base hit, but more notably, Morin, it looks like he slipped on the pitch in the delivery, which left it hanging.
And also, it looked like Shade might have slipped on that swing because it looked like he was swinging a club there. And the baseball bat looked like it weighed 100 pounds for him on that one. But still, somehow he will make solid contact, getting the barrel of the bat on the ball, and, of course, actually hitting it hard enough to get out of the infield. And somehow, Shade appears on first base.
Former rivals now batting back-to-back, both from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Second baseman number 8, Drew DiMartino, sees the first pitch in there, called strike, 0-1.
DiMartino, 125 hitter, 1 for 8 in 2 games. He has, however, hit 2 RBI, so he made it count when he did get that one hit.
Pitch, fastball, good inside corner pitch. And that one's in there, called strike 2. Drew DiMartino of Taconic High School. Chad Shade on first base, product of Pittsfield High School. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, trying to hold the sign. There was Koffel, but to no avail. Count here is now 1-2.
A pretty good waste pitch, but it just flew way too far outside for DiMartino to really seriously consider hacking at it.
Pitch is way up. That one looks like it either slipped or a half-hearted pitch out, knowing the speed on first base. Would surprise me if it was either.
I would say it was probably a slip because we've seen that from JT Morin so far this inning. He looks a little bit amped up at the pitcher's mound.
Here now the next pitch, a high sky fly ball headed towards first, and it looks like it will go out of play.
Oh, and that was luck. That was a very poor swing from DiMartino. That was pretty much the same exact location as the last pitch. I think DiMartino might have been a little bit amped, thinking, oh, it's definitely going to be like a down-the-middle type strike pitch, and I got to defensively swing at it. But at the end, it really ended up being located in the same exact area. Probably could be looking at a full count pitch here.
The 2-2. Hot shot right to the shortstop. A throw over to first. Not in time. Great snare there by Chris Rinaldi, the shortstop. The throw over to first is not in time as the awareness from Chad Shade really shows up. But if he was up with a pitch, that would have been an easy 6-3 double play.
Yeah, hit pretty hard, but right at the shortstop there. Easy grab in the air. Unfortunate because he made good contact. It's just he didn't hit it where they ain't, and for lack of a better way of putting it.
Shortstop number 5, Brian McHale, will now take some hacks.
McHale, second on the team in hitting by 1 point to Peter Marin, a .367 hitter with one of the Suns' 3 homers to this point in the season, 4 RBI on the year with 4 walks.
We just saw Shade with a bluff and go. The pitch was in there, a called strike. Runner does go now. That one's in there for a called strike. Throw over to second. It's not in time.
Oh, and it looked like they had him, but it looked like that it was on time, but actually he just bobbled the exchange, or else I'm pretty sure Chad Shade would have been dead in the water there at second.
The throw was a little bit low. It kicked up some dirt, and it went off of the glove there. It looked like Ricciardi, if not Rinaldi. It was a called strike.
Shade getting a little bit lucky on that one, but nevertheless, he's now in scoring position.
That's his 3rd stolen base of the season. Pitch is up and away for a ball. A ball, 2 strikes, 1 man gone, a runner on second. Here for the Suns with 1 man gone, just getting underway in Pittsfield. Currently no score between the Bravehearts and the Suns here in the bottom of the 1st.
A gutsy take on that one. That one was right there.
And that's a quick meeting on the mound here between Koffel and Morin. Just want to get things underway.
Yeah, Morin seems to have settled down. He began the inning a little bit amped up. You could tell he was slipping on some of his throws, maybe putting too much, focus into them. He seems to have calmed down a little bit, but maybe just a bit of reassurance there just to get his nerves back down again.
Here's a pitch. Hot shot down the left field line. That will go foul. We'll go again from a 1-2. From the stretch, Morin with the pitch. Pitch is outside. Good hold up there from McHale.
Beautiful hold. That one had a little bit of bite to it right at the end, but it was headed for the strike zone, and a really good job eyeing the ball and having good patience there from McHale.
2-2, swung on. Good defensive swings. That one's fouled out first base side. And we'll go once again from a 2-2 count. Runner does go as the pitch is fouled back towards us. Shade might have been in there.
Bold move trying to get Shade onto third. Looked like it was probably a hit-and-run try on that one. Although I think you're right, Billy. I think Shade could have made it over to third had that not been a foul ball.
And for the Suns, it looks like they're a little bit more aggressive than they have been for the past week.
And what better guy to do it with than Chad Shade?
Especially on the bases, forcing the issue, quite literally. Morin with the pitch. The 2-2 is upstairs for a ball. Good hold up from McHale, working it from 0-2 to 3-2 full, and this will be the 9th pitch of the plate appearance.
This has been a productive plate appearance no matter what happens at the end of it. It's the 9th pitch coming up.
Popped up in the infield headed towards first base. Getting out of the way there is McHale, and that one is gloved in fair territory by Harris. So that'll be a pop-up.
Still made him throw a lot of pitches on that one, though. And with the FCBL strictly regulating how many pitches a starting pitcher can throw, that might come back to bite him later in the game. Even though it doesn't move Chad Shade, that should be viewed as a productive out from Brian McHale.
And now here is left fielder number 6, and he was On Deck Sports Player of the Night last night.
Surprisingly hitting cleanup for the Suns. Alexander White currently slashing .278. That's 5 of 18. He has hit a homer and 3 RBI, walking 4 times and also striking out 4. Here's the thing, though, Billy. He leads the team in stolen bases with 3. We talk a lot about Chad Shade on the base paths, but Alexander White has been quietly deadly there, too.
Big cut and miss there from White. Count now is 0-2.
Trying to make something happen there. Don't want to squander Chad Shade being in scoring position. The way Chad Shade runs down the base path to hit in the outfield, scores a run easily.
He went 2 for 4 yesterday in the Vineyard. A home run, 3 RBI, and a run. As the pitch is low and outside. Ball 2 strikes, 2 men gone. Suns do not want to squander this opportunity. They really want to start to kick things in high gear with runners in scoring position. Here now the 1-2. Caught on and missed for strike 3, and they will do just that. Leave a runner in scoring position. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 man left on base. We now head through 1 full inning of play. We now head to the top of the second. No score between the Worcester Bravehearts and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Too bad about radio.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, since television, hardly anybody listens to radio anymore.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that if I were you. There's a radio in use for every man, woman, and teenager in America.
Really? Gee, I'd hate to think of them all turning them on at once.
They do. Every morning.
Who listens to radio? That go where you go, medium called radio. That's with you every night through the long commuter fight, and in the morning with your toast and mama lady-o. Who listens to radio? No matter if it's summer, winter, spring, or fall. Who listens to radio? Only 150 million people. That's all.
Back here at Paul Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Top of the second here. Number 4 batter, DH number 5, Matt Shelley, is due up for the first time here tonight.
Matt Shelley, 269, hitter 7 of 26 with a double and 3 homers, 8 RBI, 4 walks, along with 9 strikeouts. Bit of an ugly number, but those 3 homers can't be ignored.
They cannot indeed. As the pitch was low, it's 1-0. The pitch, well, that one also low. It gets away from the catcher, now 2-0. Matt Shelley had a great night here. Last time that he was here on Monday on the 4th. That pitch is just low on the inside corner. And now it's 3-0, so a dead red pitch upcoming.
Looking at his numbers, though, this talk about feast or famine right here.
Pitch, it is in there on the upper outside corner. That's a called strike 3-1. Here is the pitch. That was inside. I think it actually got the jersey. They're going to rule it a walk, however, not a hit by pitch.
Either way you spin it, he would be walking over to first.
Here's the first baseman, number 21, Dustin Harris.
Harris, a little bit of a slow start to the season, hitting just 185, 5 of 27. He, however, has 4 RBI and 4 walks, so he's finding ways to produce and get on base. However, he also has 6 strikeouts and 5 errors in the field.
Hitting out first is Shelley. Modest lead. Pitch a hot shot right to the center fielder, who's going to have to backtrack. Shade, however, right there on pretty much a line drive.
Very hard hit ball, but thankfully for Shade, hit right at him there. Very easy to play to make. He barely even has to move. An easy first out of the inning.
So it'll be a line out to center as opposed to a fly out. So an L8 if you're rolling this one at home. Here's the catcher number 2, Brett Koffel.
Look at Koffel, 167 hitter in 6 games of action, 3 of 18 with a double, a triple, 6 RBI, and 5 walks to 4 strikeouts. So very patient, finds ways to get on base even when he's not raking it.
Check swing and a good motion to do that because the curveball there from Feeney was low and outside. Down here is 1-0.
A lot of low balls from Feeney in this inning.
Here's the next pitch. That one also fastball low. 2-0.
Well, he's looking for a ground ball pitch, I think. It couldn't have been a little bit more abundantly obvious from these first 2 pitches. Trying to get something low, trying to keep it on the ground and get out of the inning.
Pitch is inside. 3-0 now to Brett Koffel. 1 man gone, runner on first, that being Mac Chelly on the walk. Feeney has the sign as he sets from the stretch. And the 3-0 inside, and that'll be another walk here from Feeney. Was unable to locate as here comes Gurnak for obvious reasons to calm down Feeney and get the confidence back and boosted as the third baseman number 9, Alex Gionis, will step up to the dish.
Gionis slashing a 261 in the early goings this season. 6 of 23. He has gone yard once with 4 RBI, 4 walks, but 9 strikeouts.
Now also the second baseman, DiMartino, is also talking here with Feeney. Now, once again, towing the rubber is Feeney. He will cycle through the pitches, awaiting the sign. Tilts his head up. Now with a nod, he is going to set from the stretch. Here's the first pitch, a hot shot going into right field. Incoming here is Fairclough, and he will be able to make the catch. No tag up here from Chelly. Interesting. And now it gets away from the second baseman, DiMartino, and now going over to third, as that one is going to be a fielding error by DiMartino.
Just that type of error is borderline inexcusable because it's such a routine, very casual instance. It's not like, oh, you laid out and just couldn't quite make the catch or something. That's a very easy, basic catch to make there. Just bringing it back into the infield, and because he couldn't make that, it brings a runner into scoring position 90 feet away now.
We're going to review it at some point, but right now that is listed as a fly out. Advancing to third via error. Right now it's on the second baseman. And that pitch low and outside corner here to the left fielder, number 18, Joseph Pesci. That pitch also in there for a called strike.
I can't imagine how that wouldn't be an E4, but of course we will wait on official wording.
Left fielder number 18, Joseph Pesci, with runners on the corners and 2-man gone. Here's a pitch. Hot shot. This one headed to DiMartino, who will glove it. Easy throw over to first in time, and that will end the inning. So no harm, no foul. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. Now heading to the bottom half of the second, 1.5 innings in. No score between the Bravehearts and the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball, the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Home safety is a family effort. Being safe and sound should be everyone's priority. In times like these, theft and violence can strike anywhere. Protect your family. Keep your home well lighted and always lock doors and windows. Installing alarms adds an extra level of protection. Never leave valuables in plain sight. To learn more about protecting your home and family, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Taking in here for the bottom of the second will be the 5, 6, 7 batters do it for the first time. That being right now the right fielder, number 14, Dylan Fairclough.
Fairclough, 267 out of the gate, 8 for 30 with a double, 5 RBI, a couple walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Pitches upstairs for a ball here to Fairclough, 1-0.
A little bit like shade. Fairclough got off to a very hot start to the season, but it's cooled down ever since.
And a big cut there from Fairclough. More of a Prince Fielder-esque swing. And that's a swing and miss, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just thinking the same thing myself.
With the nod, Morin has the sign. Lefty deals as that one's fouled back. Now a ball and 2 strikes. For everyone that is currently listening and watching in, it looks like there was an error. That's for my personal YouTube is now carrying the live stream as opposed to the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. So we're going to be changing channels this next half inning. Go to Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network on YouTube. Fouled off first base side. The count here now 1-2. I will remind everyone at the end of this inning.
And if you're keeping track of this, of your score sheet back at home, that would be going down as an E0.
So a ball, 2 strikes here from JT Moore and the lefty. With a nod, he'll have the sign. Here's the windup. And 1-2. Make it 3. Big swing and miss there. And a fastball high and away for Fairclough. Count here is now 1-3 as he's put down swinging on strikes. First baseman number 21, Peter Marin, will now take some hacks his first time up.
Prior to today's game, Marin leads Brian McHale by 1 point. Literally 368 to 367 for the team leading batting average. 7 of 19, a couple doubles, and an RBI on the season.
Pitches upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Here's the windup, the 1-0. That one's right in there, called strike. And the count now 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 gone. Here in the bottom of the second. Here's the windup and the pitch. Hot shot foul behind us. And it hits off the roof. I don't think any glass shattered.
Really early swing on Marin's part right there. I'm surprised that he even made contact with the ball at all. But simple, weak contact with a lot of hang time is what results in strike 2.
So expecting fastball, it appears. And here's the windup in 1-2. Yet again, make that 3. Struck out swinging is Marin. 3 straight strikeouts for Morin. And now with 2 men gone, here's the designated hitter, number 16, Taylor Mier.
Mier slashing just .222. That's 2 of 9 in 4 games with a ribby and 3 walks. We usually find Mier to be catching, really, but tonight that duty goes to Gernak while Mier swings his bat.
And for that, Gernak earning the start, especially with gunning down a runner.
Indeed.
Pitch is upstairs, a little in as well. Its count is now 1-0.
In general, I've been going off of Gernak, I've been quite impressed with him behind the plate in general this season.
The pitch, fastball, great location there, lower outside corner, called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men gone. Now the 1-1 upstairs. 2-1 is the count. And now the 2-1. Hot shot right up the middle for a seeing eye single here from the air. Make that 3 for 10.
Something to break up this ridiculous streak that Morin had been on to begin the ballgame of 3 straight strikeouts early. Here finally gets the Suns player on base. And now the Suns finally have a bit of an offense going against Morin here.
And now here's the catcher, number 26, Josh Gernak. So we're going catcher to catcher here. At least one's a designated hitter.
Gernak third on the team in hitting, batting .300. He's got a double and 2 walks to his name.
And it looks like a bit of an equipment issue here from Morin as he is readjusting his shirt as time is called. Well, the good news is not like a major league blunder with him accidentally pulling down his pants, not realizing he's on the field, and then pulling it back up. If you're looking for MLB bloopers, that is your go-to.
Oh, man.
Here is the first pitch, outside corner with a fastball. The count here is 0-1. Starting off here in the first inning and 2/3, Morin has been really locating with his pitches, especially on the corners. Here's the 0-1. Big cut and miss. Speaking of which, and that's strike 2. Now 0-2.
And he's really getting guys off with really good deception in his delivery. And you can also see he does a great job changing up in speeds, whether he's throwing something off speed or just a straight-up fastball, doing a great job with that.
Pitches upstairs, holding all the way is Gernak. 0-2. Excuse me. 0-2 is now 1-2. As the lefty Morin sets. Leading off first here is Mier. Nothing too fancy. And the pitch. That one called strike 3. And Morin will strike out the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network on YouTube. We are switching the stream. It is accidentally on a personal page of mine. We'll be right back. Again, please go to Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. We'll have the live stream going up in a minute, if not 30 seconds. Thank you for listening, but tune in on the other stream, Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.